Welcome to another episode of Talking Awe. Another week, albeit a wet week, has gone by. That's where I'll start. The floods. Same old place. Church Street, Carpenter Street, Edward Street, Harrison Street, east side of Keene, Beaverbrook Corridor. And I thought we had a project that fixed all that. Guess we didn't, because those poor people down there, and I call them poor because no matter how much money they have, they keep losing stuff every time it floods. So, I don't know. I grew up on Grove Street. So I know any time it rains more than 2 inches, Beaverbrook's going over the banks. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a meteorologist. I'm not a city planner. But I know every time we get a substantial amount of rain, Beaverbrook goes over its banks. It's amazing. I spend lunch hours at Otterbrook Dam because I like it up there. Nature and trees and water and fresh air. So I go up and sit at the dam and eat my lunch. I went on last Monday. I went up to the dam. It was the same as it had been for the past couple of months. You could see the base of the tower. You could see the actual intake of the dam where the water goes down in to come out the other side. Tuesday, I didn't start work until late because we had a late night on Tuesday night. So, no. The hell day? What am I thinking? It was Monday that I didn't go to Otterbrook. Sunday, I had gone to Otterbrook. And it was normal. Actually, Monday I went too. Because I was looking for the storms. That's what it was. It was Monday afternoon. Facebook was crawling with people talking about all these storms that were happening. So I went in my lunch break. I don't have a whole lot of time, just an hour. So I figured, Otterbrook. I'll go see what's going on up at Otterbrook. Because Otterbrook is technically in Roxbury. Roxbury is usually one of the hardest hit places. So I went to Otterbrook. Nothing. Not even a raindrop. We had a concert that we did. My days are all screwed up. It was a short week last week. So it was Tuesday that the rains came. We did a concert Tuesday night at the high school. That was when the rain started. When Ernie and I were trying to move gear. It was a funny sight if you were onlooker to see two guys schlepping equipment in the pouring rain. And even though we could park within a few feet of the door to the high school, after we got the gear into the school, we had to park our cars and then get back into the building. That was when we got absolutely soaked. So, Tuesday night it rained. So it was Monday when I went to the dam. Saw nothing. Tuesday, saw nothing at the dam. It was normal. I went back at lunch on Wednesday. The dam was at 47 feet on the tower, the water. It had risen overnight. I checked back on Wednesday. The dam was at 51 and a half feet. Now, I don't know where they measure that measurement from, where they get that from, but the high water mark that's still visible with a plaque, I'm trying to remember, I believe it was around 88 feet. and it was 1984. Now, somebody told me that there was a plaque at the 100-foot mark on that dam. And I don't know what year it was, but somebody has taken the plaque. I mean, there's a long way between the 47 and the 51 feet up to where that high water mark was from 84. My guess would be that the 100-foot mark came from 2005, possibly. But like I said, I don't know. So, major flooding on the east side, a lot of washed out roads. I mean, the same places. Although I was surprised to hear at the very beginning of the storm, say 6:30, 7 o'clock, there were a lot of problems in Maple Acres. I had never heard all the time growing up, and even during some of the worst storms that I've seen in this area, I've never seen a problem in Maple Acres, Paco, and that area. The only thing that's really different is that we've got, 20 acres of less of forest out there and 20 acres more of a school, or whatever the acreage happens to be out there. That's the only difference that I can see that may cause a disturbance in that area. So, I don't know. The more we progress, the worse things seem to get sometimes. And it's a horrible tragedy. Westmoreland, Route 12 was basically undermined again. From the summit down to where Putter's ice cream place used to be. Half of the road had washed right out right there. And when you think of roads washing out, you usually think about places maybe like the River Road that goes from Surrey to Gilsum, where the river runs right along the edge of the road. Those are the places where you think would wash out. And I believe they did have trouble up on the River Road. I haven't been up there to see. But that's the other point I want to make. Sightseers. When these weather tragedy emergencies happen, don't go sightseeing. Yes, it's amazing to look at the power of the water. But while you're looking at the power of the water, you're forgetting about the power of the water. I saw numerous cars drive through huge ass puddles, water flowing across the road, people driving through. I saw one person had posted a picture. You may know who this guy is. I'm not going to say his name, but he posted a picture on Facebook of him walking across some bridge in Sullivan before it collapsed. The picture showed him walking across the bridge with flowing water going across the bridge. Stop it! That's not a very good example to set for anyone. Stay away from running water, flowing water. Stay away. It's like 3/4 of an inch of flowing water can lift and move a car. Don't do it. Don't drive through flowing water. Don't walk through flowing water. Don't just guess. Don't look at the side of the road and say, well, oh, the water's only up to the curb, so it's only 3 inches deep. Sure, maybe it's only 3 inches deep, but maybe you get out into it and the road's all caved in and there's a 20-foot sinkhole there. You don't know. You can't see what's underneath the water. So do yourselves a favor, do your friends a favor, your family a favor. Stay out of the flowing water. Just means one thing. One quick whee! And that's it. You could never be heard from again. And loss of property and property damage is one thing, but injury and death is another thing. You can always buy more stuff. So, that's my advice on the floods. You know, it happens. A lot of people are affected. City is affected. I don't know. We got through it though, and that's the important thing. All right. Let's skip to Friday, because Friday, when I directed Town Crier, Chris Coates was off doing something. I'm not sure what he was doing. But John McLean filled in for Chris Coates. Our city manager, John McLean, the man I love to hate. And he did a fantastic job. I've just got to say, I've been trying for years to get John to come and do a show with me, you know, because I think it would be fun. He did a great job. Him and Kendall, and they didn't talk about the budget, which was kind of weird because the public hearing for the budget is Thursday night at City Council, this coming Thursday night. So if you've got any questions about the budget, if you've got any comments about the budget, if you think the city's spending money it shouldn't be spending, go to the public hearing. Thursday night. It's 3 days away. Mark it on your calendar now. Starts at 7 o'clock. Channel 8 will be there to film it. But if you don't watch the live show on Thursday night and you catch it in reruns on Saturday and you hear something that you don't like, by then it's too late. If you're interested in the city's, whatever it is, $600 million budget, go to the budget hearing. The public input session for the budget. Go to that. And let Keen know what you're thinking. All right. Back to Town Crier. As a guest, Kendall and John had Med Kopczynski, who is the assistant city manager. He's got something to do with code enforcement and the health department and something in planning, I think. And he's got a huge hat rack in his office anyway, you know, with like 40 different hats that he puts on at different times of the day and becomes somebody else, which is fantastic. You know, we couldn't hire 15 people to do this one man's job, you know. He came on to talk about something that I hadn't heard about yet. Apparently, we've had another rash of graffiti. He came in with a big display. And I know that you didn't see the display on the show. And I would like to think that was because of the remark I made before the show, saying, you know, Matt, it's really a shame that we have to, you know, highlight this guy's activities and show it off and give him his 15 minutes of fame, which he doesn't deserve. Here's where I turn into an art critic, because this guy is just a horrible artist. I'll tell you right now, the tag is shitface. If you know this cat, tell him how untalented he is. No imagination, for one thing. I mean, it's graffiti and it's not even good. That's what I'm saying. And I know graffiti because One of the things as a photographer I like to do is I go over to Bellows Falls to the train yard and take pictures of some of the graffiti on trains. Still, I know it's not art, but these cats do it. And if they could just, get it into their mind, don't put this stuff on other people's property, put it on like canvas or something, or paper, they could be fantastic artists. Here's what's wrong with this guy in Keene's drawings, other than the fact that they're on somebody else's property. Like I said, lack of imagination. They're just simple, stupid symbols. And I mean, that's it. Single color. That right there shows that the guy's an idiot. Everything he's painted is in one color. It's sad, really. It's sad that you don't have you've got the ambition to go out and mess up somebody's building, but you don't have the pride to make it nice. Single color, boring crap all over somebody's building. That's what I'm saying. Good graffiti artists use many colors, lots of different colors, and they spice it up and they make the stuff look actually like art. Well, I've got drawings on my refrigerator from a 4-year-old that look better than this graffiti that's on the walls here in Keene. That's all I'm saying. You should be ashamed of yourself. Take some art classes or something. Or if you've already taken art classes, give up art and maybe try music, because you suck as an artist. That's all. So stop it. And if you did get your building graffitied, the best thing that they say, is to get the stuff off as fast as you can. Because these people that spray graffiti, they want other people to see it. Which is why I didn't think, personally, not as an employee of Cheshire TV, but personally, I didn't think that Med's idea to show these things on TV was a good idea. And I suggested to him that maybe it wasn't a good idea. So he didn't show up, but they talked about it. And, whether this cat is from Keene or whether he's from somewhere else. If he's from somewhere else, that's even worse. If he's from Keene, if you know him, you don't necessarily have to turn him in to the cops. But just make sure he knows that, he sucks. And if he's going to paint sucky drawings, do them somewhere where nobody can see it, like in his own house. That's all. Oh, God, what else was I going to talk about? Something came up. Of course, I got drawn in. Saturday being a really crappy rainy day, I did nothing but stayed home, and I was going to watch TV, and there was really nothing on TV till I came across Channel 8. That's right. Any of you folks that tuned in to Cheshire TV on Saturday, wow. It was Marathon Finance Organization and Personnel Committee Day. We had 8 hours of budget review. 8 hours. So if you people out there in the community don't think that you're informed, it's just because you're not watching. That's all. 8 hours. I got sucked in. I would have to say I probably watched 6 out of the 8 hours. The other two, I kind of dozed off, I'm pretty sure. Because, me in politics makes me kind of sleepy. And when they start throwing around numbers like they were throwing around, you know, that's instant. I sat there in front of the TV all day and watched FOP committee budget review. They were talking about 100-night shelter at one point. And somebody got up and made a remark. One of our great citizenry made a remark that made me sit up and go, yeah, that's right, yeah. I believe it was a girl. She said, none of you people, maybe it wasn't none of, she said a lot of you people have never known what it's like to be poor. And I sat right up and I was like, yeah, you tell them. Because it's true. Maybe there are a couple of counselors that know. The majority of the people in the city government, though, have never known what it's like to wonder where they're going to sleep at night. To wonder, if they're going to eat the next day. A lot of them have never been in that position. So there's no way that they can say they know what it's like for a homeless person. I know. I've been in the position where I've jumped from couch to couch. I had a job at the time. And it's hard to keep a job when you don't know where you're going to sleep every night. Where you don't know if you're going to be able to get a shower within the next week. And if you're lucky, you've got friends that will help you, that will offer their couch. Sometimes friends can't even offer that. All they can offer, is the good word. Don't worry, things will get better. But, shelters are important. I think for a number of reasons. Granted, a lot of people that need shelters, it's of their own choosing. Maybe. I don't know. Drugs, alcohol, mental challenges. It all adds up. There's no hard and fast rule. So, and it seems a shame just to have one group that you can go to. First thing they have is when you mention homeless here in this area, you get call Southwestern Community Services. Well, sure. And you call them and they go through all the stuff, and sometimes they can get you in, sometimes they can't get you in. But it used to get me back in the days when I needed assistance. The food stamps and things like that. The hoops you have to jump through and the red tape that you have to go through to get even the smallest bit of assistance. You know, it's just not as easy as walking in and going, you know, I need a meal. I need a place to stay for a few nights. It's not that easy. It's here. Fill out these forms. You know, let us do your background check and your fingerprints and your DNA. And oh yeah, by the way, could you give us a urine sample? No, sorry. You know, by the time all the tests come back, I've already found myself a place to live. So I don't know. On the other hand, you know, the money has to come from somewhere. Homeless shelters, really, there's no way to make a profit on a homeless shelter. The reason we pay taxes and the city doles out the money like it does is because as people, we won't just give. You know, if everybody in the city of Keene that had a job, I mean, even somebody that gets paid $30,000 a year, if every single person in Keene that made at least $30,000 a year stopped into a 100-night shelter and said, here's a 5 spot, they'd have plenty of money. They wouldn't have to ask the city for any. So taxes make up for a lack of charity. We can't just go down and give, you know, these shelters and these places that are trying to do good money. So the city has to give it to them. So I don't know. I don't know what I've talked about for half an hour, but my time's just about up. So I'll get ready to close out the show. And till next week, take care of each other, please. Be good. Peace.